Good morning students. Today we are going to deal with the next unit called as body fluid and circulation. So earlier we had dealt with the unit called as respiration and its structure and the mechanism how it worked. So today we will move on to the next unit called as body fluid and circulation. So what is meant by body fluid? Fluid is nothing but it is a form of a liquid which is beneficial for the body systems. So in our body fluid, we are able to see two important fluids. One is the blood and the other is the lymph. Okay. So blood plays very important role. It is called as the river of life because it carries all the nutrients which are being digested in our body systems or in the digestive system to each and every cell of our body. Henceforth we tell that blood is called as the river of life. Similarly, even the lymph also help in partially carrying the nutrients to all parts of our body. Okay. So Sir William Harvey, he was one of the physician. He could explain about the blood, showing that because of the presence of blood there is a complete circuit in the body systems. Okay. So in the circulation we are going to deal with the two important types of circulation. One is called as open type of circulation and the second is closed type of circulation. So open type of circulation is nothing but the flow of blood within the body cavity. They don't have specific vessels. Vessels are totally absent. Whatever the fluid which is being present, it will be circulated within the body systems. So best examples for the open type of circulation are mainly the phylum from the phylum mollusca as well as from phylum arthropoda. Okay. So second type of circulation which is called as closed type of circulation. In case of human beings, we are able to see the type of circulation which is called as closed type of circulation, where the blood flows within the restricted vessels like arteries as well as veins. Okay. So and they are being passed to all parts of the body systems or each and every cell of the body systems. Okay. So moving on to the next part of the circulation which is called as blood. So as I already told that blood is called as the river of life. So without the blood, the person are not liable to survive. So due to the presence of blood, the functioning of the body systems takes place properly. Okay, each and every organs plays very important role. Similarly, here the heart also plays very important role in carrying the blood from to and fro. That is from the lower part of the body to upper part, and similarly from the upper part towards the lower part. Okay. So the blood which is called as the river of life, it is nothing but it is in the form of fluid and it is called as a connective tissue. It is mainly made of connective tissue as well as matrix. Okay. So here what is the main function of this blood is it helps in carrying nutrients, it helps in carrying gases, it also helps in removing the gases or the waste product which is being produced through the metabolic activities. So blood mainly contains the formed elements as well as the lymph. Okay. Plasma, it also contains the formed elements as well as plasma. So what are the main formed elements which can be seen in the blood are mainly three important formed elements can be seen. One is the erythrocyte, second is the leukocytes and the third is the platelets. Moving on to what is meant by erythrocytes. Erythrocytes are also called as red blood cells because of the presence of red color to the blood, which gives red color to the blood. So RBC, where we are able to see it mainly contains two important components. One is the iron and the other is the globin part, that is hemoglobin part, which is mainly made up of protein. Hence we referred as hemoglobin. Hence it gives red color to the blood. So erythrocytes are more abundant when compared to leukocytes. So erythrocytes, but compared to the size, erythrocytes are smaller in size when compared to WBC or the colorless cells which are called as leukocytes. Okay. So here due to the abundancy, what happens, the number of percentage within the human body, we are able to see 5 to 5.5 million per cubic milliliter of blood, and they are usually shape is biconcave in nature and they are enucleated. Why they are enucleated? It is mainly because of its function. The RBC's main function is help in exchange of gases. to reduce, to intake or to occupy the space of the oxygen more in the cell, they don't contain the nucleus, hence they are enucleated. And the number of 12 to 16 grams of hemoglobin in 100 ml of blood also can be seen. And here the lifespan is 120 days, the RBC's lifespan is 120 days, and they are mainly produced in bone marrow. Okay, within the bone we are able to space which is called as bone marrow. From the bone marrow itself, the three important formed elements can be produced. Next, moving on to the leukocytes. Leukocytes are also called as WBC. Why they are called as WBC means because of the absence of the coloration, hence they appear white in color. They are, and the size also are larger in size when compared to RBC, and they are less when compared to RBC. The number of WBC will be less. Okay, hence the number of RBC in case of human being we are able to see 6000 to 8000 per cubic millimeter of blood. Okay, and they are nucleated. Their main function is they help in defense mechanism. WBC's main function is they help in defense mechanism, whereas RBC's main function is help in carrying or transportation of the gases. Okay, so moving on to the leukocytes can be broadly classified into two types. One is granulocytes and the other is granulocytes. Granulocytes means presence of the granules in the plasma, we call it as granulocytes, whereas absence of granules within the plasma is called as agranulocytes. So granulocytes are further classified into three types. One is called as neutrophil, eosinophil as well as basophil. Again, depending on the staining property, they can be classified as neutrophil, eosinophil as well as basophil. So neutrophil are usually pink in color, and the percentage of neutrophil within the WBC is 65%, and their main function is phagocytic in nature. What is meant by phagocytic means engulfing the foreign particles which enter within the fluid. Okay, any foreign particles, it may be any type of foreign particles, it may be bacteria, it may be virus, or any type of the pathogens which try to enter within the fluid, they try to engulf and remove out of the body. That is the main function of these neutrophils. Moving on to the second type, which is called as eosinophil. So these are usually red in color, and the percentage is hardly 2 to 3%, and they are helpful in resisting to infection, and they are also helpful in allergic reactions. Okay, they are mainly helpful in allergic reaction. Here the neutrophils are usually tri-lobed nucleus. Nucleus in case of neutrophil we are able to see tri-lobed condition. Okay, 3 lobes can be seen, whereas eosinophil the nucleus is usually bilobed in condition. Next, moving on to the third type of granulocyte, which is called as basophil. It is very less when compared to the neutrophil as well as eosinophil. It is hardly 0.5%, but they are more benefiting in production of the important chemicals like histamine, serotonin as well as heparin, which help in the process of inflammatory reactions. Any type of virus which enter into our body, they are being removed by these type of cells which are called as basophils, and these basophils are where the nucleus also is tri-lobed in condition. So these are the three types of granulocytes in case of WBC, and the granulocytes where we are able to see they are hardly one type, which are called as lymphocytes. So lymphocytes plays very important role in defense mechanism, just like the soldiers which are being present at the border of our India. Similarly, these granulocytes or the lymphocytes, they act in defense mechanism to fighting against any type of the pathogens, any type of antigens which enter into our body. Hence, the lymphocytes percentage is 20 to 25%, and they can be broadly classified into two types as T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes based on the production from which area they are being produced. T means thymus, from the thymus they are being produced, hence they are called as T lymphocytes, whereas B lymphocytes means they are being whatever the antibodies which are being produced, they are being produced from the bone marrow, hence they are called as B lymphocytes. So this is about the leukocytes. Next, moving on to the third type of the formed element, which is called as platelets. So platelets, when compared to leukocytes, platelets are more, but and here I forgot to tell that the lifespan of WBC is hardly 12 to 15 days, but when compared to RBC, RBC has more lifespan concerned with the leukocytes as well as platelets. Okay. So platelets main function, they are also called as thrombocytes. So they are they don't have a regular shape when compared to the RBC as well as WBC. They are irregular in shape and they are also nucleated. And here the main function of platelets is they help in clotting process, and once they are the lifespan is completed, they are being totally destroyed in spleen as well as liver, and their percentage is 1,50,000 to 3,50,000 per cubic millimeter of blood. Okay. So these are the three important components which are seen in the blood. So the next fluid which is called as the plasma, which surrounds the blood. So this usually plasma is again a fluid type which is viscous. When compared to blood, it is more viscous, and the straw in color is usually straw colored, and the percentage of the plasma is 55% in the blood. So and it mainly contains more of water, 90 to 92% of water can be seen in the plasma. Along with the water, they also contain different important components like fibrinogen, globulin, albumin and major proteins. Okay. So what is the main function of fibrinogen? Is help in the clotting. Further you are going to deal concerned with the clotting process. So fibrinogen help in the process of clotting, whereas globulin help in the process of defense mechanism, albumin help in the process of osmotic balance. What is meant by osmotic balance is nothing but maintaining the ionic balance within the body fluid. That is the function of the albumin. Okay. So it also not only it contains the plasma, contains these important proteins, it also contains some of the minerals like sodium, calcium, magnesium, carbonates, chlorides, etc. They also they contains the glucose, amino acids and other important components. Okay. So this is about the two important formed elements as well as the plasma. Okay. So in the next class we are moving on to the blood group. Okay. Just now I explained the descriptive part of the RBC, WBC as well as platelets. So here I have displayed the chart where I can show you the structure regarding the RBC, WBC as well as the platelets. So RBC are usually biconcave in nature. Okay, you can see the view, they are biconcave, whereas WBC, and they are smaller in size when compared to WBC, whereas the WBC we are able to see they are larger in size and they are nucleated. So especially the WBC, which are granulocytes, are mainly three types: neutrophil, eosinophil as well as basophil. So the percentage I have been explained. Neutrophil, where it is 55 to 65%, where the nucleus is trilobed in nature. Okay. And moving on to the eosinophil, which is bilobed, which is the percentage is hardly 6 to 8%, whereas basophil it is hardly 0 to 0.5%. Okay. So the functions, as you have already known, what are the different functions of these three types. And in the WBC itself, we are able to see agranulocytes. There are mainly two types, one is monocytes and the other is the lymphocytes. So lymphocytes, which plays the important role in defense mechanism, where the nucleus is usually oval in shape, but in case of monocytes we are able to see it is a bean shaped structure. Okay. So this is about the shapes, different shapes of the WBC. And platelets, as you know, they are scattered and they don't have a regular shape, they are irregular in shape and they are also enucleated, they don't contain the nucleus. Okay, the main function of the platelets are they help in clotting. Here they have shown the method where the clotting process takes place. So thromboplastin plus prothrombin in the presence of calcium, it shows prothrombin, and similarly thrombin plus fibrinogen, it gives rise to the fibrin. Fibrin plus blood corpuscles leads to the clot. In the further section again you are going to deal the clotting process. Okay. So next, moving on to the second fluid, which is called as the lymph. So lymph is also called as tissue fluid. Why it is called as tissue fluid is because it is seen in between the cells. The fluid passes in between the cells, or it is also called as interstitial fluid. So, the quantity of lymph is hardly 2 liters of lymph which can be seen in our body. The blood which passes through the capillaries, here the lymph flows within the tissue, in between the tissues as well as in between the cell. So, lymph also help in carrying the nutrients to different regions along with the blood. How the blood carries through the capillaries to different parts of the body. Similarly, the lymph also carries the nutrients, hormones to different regions of our body systems. Okay. So, they also contain some water soluble substances more which are being passed through spaces in between the cells and leaving larger proteins and most formed elements within the lymph. Okay. So, not only whenever this fluid becomes excess, again it will be circulated back through the blood fluid. Okay. So, due to the passing of the fluid in between the spaces, it is called as lymphatic system. Okay. So, interstitial spaces filled with the fluid is called as lymphatic system, and further it is called as the lymph. Okay. So, what is the main color of this is, it is usually colorless. It contains the lymphocytes. So, lymphocytes, as you know, they are usually helpful for the immune systems. In the earlier part I have told that lymphocytes are mainly 2 types, one is T lymphocytes and the other is B lymphocyte. T means thymus origin, okay, they are being produced in the thymus, and B lymphocytes mean produced in the bone marrow, whereas T lymphocytes are restricted to the particular type of antigens, whereas B lymphocytes, they act with all type of the antigens. It may be bacteria, it may be virus and other forms of the pathogens. Okay. So, here other than the nutrients, the lymph also contains the lipids, the electrolytes, enzymes, antibodies, as well as glucose and amino acids. Okay. So, it mainly helps in carrying the nutrients as well as hormones. So, and not only help in carrying the nutrients and hormones, it also help in absorbing the first part, important part, that is fat absorption can also be done by the lymph, that is especially we can see in the intestinal villi. So, you have already dealt in the earlier school level about the digestive system, where we are able to see in the digestive system, that is especially in small intestine, we are able to see the villi like structures which are called as the folds which can be seen, those folds are called as villi, where these villi are beneficial in absorbing the fat. Okay. So, the lymph not only help in carrying the nutrients, hormones, but also help in absorbing the fat which is being present within the cells. Okay. So, excess fluid which is being present in the lymph can be drained back into the blood circulation. Okay. So, in this way the lymph also plays an important fluid which can be seen in our body system. Along with the blood, lymph also plays very important role. Okay. And it is helpful in protection from the phago or the pathogens, especially they are beneficial in the immune response.